Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 27th of March, 1981. And the title is How to Become Loved by the Father, by the People, and by Oneself. Why has Bap Dada especially come today? Today, Bap Dada has especially come to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you children from abroad. Baba has come to have an exchange with you. All the children have come from far away to Madhuban. Therefore, the father of Madhuban has come to give all of you children who have come here the special hospitality of heart-to-heart conversation of knowledge. Today, Bab Dada has especially come to listen to you children and hear whether any of you are experiencing any difficulty with anything. The meeting between you and the Father takes place easily, doesn't it? Since we easily meet one another and you easily received the introduction, and since this path is very easy, there shouldn't be any difficulty. Should there? It isn't difficult, but it is possible that some of you have made it difficult. Do you know the way to use your key to the treasure of knowledge that you have received from the Father whenever you want? When you know the right way to do something, you definitely achieve success. If you don't know the right way, you can't achieve success. So in what condition are all of you? Are all of you flying? Now that you have become the long lost and now found children of the highest Father, there is no need to walk. While walking along path, it is possible that you could be obstructed somewhere. However, there would be no obstructions when you are flying. All of you are flying birds. All of you have the wings of knowledge and yoga, which enables you to fly very well, don't you? While you are flying, you don't become tired, do you? Have all of you been blessed with the blessing, may you be tireless? It is a very simple matter. Simply experience something and then relate your experience. It is very easy to relate your experiences. You only have to relate something from your own experience. This is why it is very easy. To relate something of your own relationships should not be difficult. You only have to relate two things. You have to relate something of your own family, that is, of your relationships. The second thing is of your attainments. This is why Bap Dada constantly sees you children as being very cheerful. However, instead of having a constant stage where you are only attracted by the one, are you sometimes attracted by any other form of sweetness? Have you all become constant and stable? Have you become conquerors of attachment and embodiment of remembrance? The age of the Gita is now coming to an end. All of you have now come into the period of the time of experiencing the reward of knowledge. Have you not? To be an embodiment of remembrance is to receive the reward of knowledge. So, your time of making effort should have ended. Do you constantly experience all the virtues that you describe as belonging to your original form? Are you able to become an embodiment of bliss whenever you want and an embodiment of love whenever you want? Are you able to stabilize in whatever form you want for as long as you want? It is not that you have to stabilize in that stage, but that you are already in that stage. Are you not? The father's virtues should be the children's virtues. The father's task should be the children's task. The father's stage should be the children's stage. This is known as the reward of the confluence age. So, are you experiencing this reward, or are you still effort makers? Are you embodiments of attainment? Your language of I have yet to attain. I'm not able to attain. How can I attain? Has now changed, has it not? You don't go up and down by being in the sky one day and on the earth the next day, do you? You don't have a question mark today and then put a full stop tomorrow, do you? To be constant and stable means to be constantly in the mood of perfection. Your mood should not constantly change. Bapdada sees from the subtle region that the mood of some children changes very much. Sometimes they have the mood of being amazed, sometimes a questioning mood, and sometimes a mood of confusion. You are not swinging in the swing of sometimes paying attention and sometimes being in tension, are you? When you leave Madhuban, you should be the form of your reward. For how long will you repeatedly have to make effort? It should be like father, like son. Does the father ever have an off mood? You now have to become equal to the father. You are masters, are you not? You masters should have grown up by now. Have all of your complaints now ended? In fact, although a situation may only be a minor one, you take it into a major one by constantly thinking about it, by offering the situation the hospitality of your thoughts. It grows large from small. Do not offer the hospitality of your thoughts. Don't ask, why did this come? Why did this happen? When a test paper comes, you have to take that paper. Should you ever question why the test paper has come? Just take a second to judge between what is waste and what is best and stop all the waste. Put all the waste in the waste paper bin for half a cycle. The waste paper bin is very big. Become a judge, not a lawyer. A lawyer makes a small case into a big one. A judge is able to give a judgment of yes or no within a second. When you become a lawyer, you wear a black coat. Whether something is the father's virtue or not is the judgment of 1 second. If it isn't, then put it in the waste paper bin. If it is the father's virtue, then put it into the account of the best. Bapdada is the sample in front of you. To copy means to follow. You don't have to create a new path. You don't even have to invent any knowledge. simply become the form of whatever the Father relates? Are all of you from abroad receiving 100% reward? The reward of the confluence age is to become equal to the Father. Your future reward is the deity status. So, you will all become equal to the Father and sit in that stage with the Father for some time. Will you not? It should not be that 1 minute you sit in that stage and the next minute you come down from that stage. The reward of the confluence age is the stage of being equal to the Father, which means to remain seated on the throne of the complete stage. You not only have to attain the reward, but you must attain it for a long time. You now have to fill yourself with such sanskars for a long period of time. It must be for your whole life. You shouldn't have that stage for a few minutes, but it has to be for your whole life. You have an angelic life. You have a yogi life. You have an easy life. Life means for a long time. It doesn't mean taking birth one moment and dying the next. That wouldn't be called life. You say that you have attained everything. So, what have you attained? Have you simply attained climbing up and down? What reward have you attained? Have you attained a life equal to that of fathers? For how much longer will you have to make effort? You have been making all types of effort for half a cycle. There was so much laboring, devotion, and problems on the family path. However, the confluence age is the age of love. It is not the age of having to labor, but the age of celebrating the meeting. It is the age of the moth merging with the flame. You speak of having to labor, but really, there is no labor. Does it take any effort to become a child? Do you receive these things as your inheritance or from your efforts? A child is the crown on the head. A child is the decoration of the home. You children are the Father's children, and so you are masters. So why do you masters come down? Have you recognized how elevated your name is? Your name is so elevated. Therefore, your name is the same as your task. Constantly stay with the Father in your elevated stage. That is your real place. Why do you let go of your place? To leave your real place means to wander around many different places. Sit comfortably. Sit in intoxication. Sit with the right. Instead of doing this, you come down and say, "What should I do now?" Why do you come down in the first place and experience a burden? You should not keep any burden on your head. When you have the consciousness of mind, you experience a burden on your head. You think, "What can I do? How can I do this? Do I have to do this? Is it you who are doing something? Or is it just that your name is used and it is the Father who is still doing the work?" When you saw the toy the other day, was it moving by itself or was someone making it work? Since science is able to make something work, can the Father not make you work? Baba simply makes you children his instruments in order to glorify your name, because he himself is beyond name and form. Since the Father is offering to take all of your burdens to enable you to simply dance and fly, why do you sitting carrying a burden? There is no problem about how service will take place or how you can give lectures. Simply sit and consider yourself to be an instrument. Sit with your connection forged to the powerhouse, then see whether you are able to give a lecture or not. Since that toy can be worked, can your mouth be made to work? Can plants not be created in your intellect? The moment you ask how, you insulate your wire with rubber. Then, because of the rubber insulation, you're unable to make a connection, and thus you can see no instant fruit. Then you become tired and say, I don't know what's going to happen. Since the Father has made you an instrument, it will definitely happen. If there are only 6 to 8 people somewhere, go elsewhere and make more emerge. Why do you become disheartened instead of touring around everywhere? Go to the centers nearby. You have a large area around you. Even if 8 emerge from somewhere, that is not a small thing. Enable those hidden in a corner somewhere to emerge, and they will sing your praise. You give blessings from your heart to the souls who are instruments with the Father. Do you not? Even if only one jewel emerges from somewhere, you can go somewhere else for another one. Will you leave that one out? That soul would then be deprived. Let as many as possible emerge, and then make progress elsewhere. At the moment, you have only covered a corner of the world. The forest is very large. There are many more to hunt. So, why are you still thinking? What is the reason for thinking? When your intellect is filled with waste, you are not able to receive touchings, and your power of discrimination won't work. The clearer something is, the more clearly it would be recognized for what it is. Because of your questions of why and what, your power to discriminate and receive touchings does not work. Then you either become tired or disheartened. Wherever you have gone, some hidden jewels has definitely emerged from there, and this is why you went there. There isn't a single place where not even one soul would have emerged. In some places, heirs will emerge. In some places, the subjects, and in other places, the wealthy ones would emerge. All are needed. Not everyone will become a king. Subjects are also needed. It is you, instrumental children, who have to carry out the task of creating subjects. Or is it that you will create the royal family and Baba will create the subjects? Both have to be created. Simply examine yourself for 2 things. First, is your line clear? And second, do you remain within the line of the code of conduct? When you are okay in each of these 2 aspects, you will never become disheartened. Those who have a good connection with the Father and the divine family can never be unsuccessful. To have a connection with just the Father is also not right. You must have a connection with the Father because you have to receive power from the Father. But with who else do you also have to have relationship? It is just with the Father. A kingdom means to be connected with a family. You have to claim 3 certificates, not just one. To be liked by the Father means to receive your certificate from the Father. 2. To be liked by the people means to receive the certificate of contentment from the divine family. 3rd, to be liked by oneself means to have contentment within your own mind. You should not be confused within yourself. There should be no question as to whether you are able to do something or not, whether you are able to carry on doing something or not. To be liked by oneself means to have the certificate of contentment within your own mind. You should have these 3 certificates. Just as there is the Trimurti, so you need this Trimurti certificate. Having just 2 certificates will not do. You need to have all 3. Some of you think that you are content with yourself and content with the Father, and that this should be sufficient. But this is not so. When the Father is content with you, and you are content with yourself, it is impossible that the family will not be content with you. In order to make the family content with you, you must just pay attention to one small thing. Give regard and receive regard. Continue to play this record day and night. The record of giving regard should be constantly playing. No matter what someone is like, you have to be a bestower and continue to give. Whether someone gives anything in return or not, you must simply continue to give and become altruistic in this. I gave this much, but that one gave nothing in return. I did something 100 times, and the other one didn't do it even once. Remain altruistic in this, and the family will automatically remain content with you. If not today, then tomorrow. Your account of charity will continue to accumulate, and then you will definitely be given the fruit of whatever you have accumulated. And what do you need in order to be liked by the Father? The Father is very innocent. Whoever the Father looks at, each one is the best of all. Baba cannot see anyone who is not good. Each Pandav and each Shakti is ahead of each other. Therefore, in order to be liked by the Father, remember, the Lord is pleased with an honest heart. No matter what you are, your truthfulness and honesty will win the Father. What do you need to be liked by yourself? Do not follow the dictates of your own mind. For something to be your liking is different. The easy way to like yourself is to stay within the line of Srimad. Whatever thoughts you have should be within the line of Srimad. Whatever you say and whatever you do should be within the line of the Srimad. You will then be constantly content with yourself and also be able to make others content. Not even a tiny fingernail of thought should be outside the line of Srimad. Bapdada knows how much love you have and how much determination you have in your thoughts. It is just that you become a little delicate now and then. When you become delicate, you play games and create mischief. Love is your ticket, which enables you to reach others. If you had no love, then you would be without a ticket, and so, how could you come here? This ticket makes you into a resident of Madhuban. It makes you an instrument to do service anywhere you may be. Bapdada has already thanked you. You have fulfilled the promise that you made here, and there will continue to be expansion. You have already carried out the establishment. When there is the balance between self-progress and progress in service, there will be constant progress. Baba also saw the specialty of those who have been independent for a long time, who are now making themselves move as part of a gathering. This transformation is very good. You were living individually and are now living with 4 to 6 others and are able to harmonize your sanskars with them. This is a return of love. It is a specialty of Pandav Bhavan and Shakti Bhavan to remain successful. Bapdada is happy to see this return. You have also given a return by being economical and belonging to one. To use half your income for the livelihood of your body and use the other half for service is also a good invention you have created. So, you are carrying out a double task. Whatever you earn, you use it for yourself and service. You earn money and use it, but you don't accumulate anything in your bank balance for here. You accumulate it for the future. Your intellect is free, is it not? Whatever you receive, you use it for service. You are a carefree emperor. There is the race of the Shaktis and Pandavas. As soon as your flame was ignited, you went to ignite the flame of others. You have kept a very good aim. In Bharat, they make effort to make hands emerge, whereas abroad, you easily find ready-made hands. This too is a blessing. This gift is the lift that those who come late receive. Those living here take time to cut their bondages, whereas your bondages are already cut. So, this is a lift, is it not? Simply make sure there are no bondages of your mind. Acha, blessing. May you be an image that grants visions by serving as an incarnation that has just incarnated from above. Just as the Father comes down from his home to do service, so you too have to come from that home to do service. By doing service in this consciousness, you will remain detached and constantly loved by the world just as the Father is. To come down from up above means to incarnate and serve as an incarnation. Everyone wants an incarnation to come and take them back home. So, you are the true incarnations who will take everyone back to the land of liberation. By serving them as an incarnation, you will become an image that grants visions and fulfills the desires of many. Slogan: no matter if others give you something good or bad, you should simply continue to give them love, cooperation, and mercy. Points of intoxication for the third Sunday International Day of Peace. I, a soul, am stable in my elevated stage with the highest on high Father, and am giving light and might to the whole world. Om Shanti.